everybody. Welcome to the episode number 2 of Victorian Vigilante here on the Greater Research channel. You all good, Perian? P1? Yeah, I know you're like, I noticed a little cam issue.
It was like, just as we started to go live, my internet blipped.
Oh no.
It would not be a live stream without any technical issue. Yeah, it took us a hot minute to go live just due to some software issue on my end. But yeah, before we get started, we do have a few announcements to go through. I'm not sure who here in chat is actually following us on social media. So, the very first one, we're continuing the campaign that we started last week for essentially fighting the anti-Asian aid because that's absolutely bullshit. So yeah, if you can donate, it would be appreciated. If you're not able to, feel free to just signal boost what we're doing. I'm sure somebody somewhere, may be able to do so. Next thing, oh yeah, for that you can just do exclamation donate in the chat. Like that. There you go. Look at you, Duck. Right on it. And it will take you directly to our campaign where you can donate. You can also, share that link to people who may be able to. So that would be super appreciated. Next thing, you may notice at the bottom right of your screen, if you're on PC, there's another little, purple button that says subscribe. That's because we made it to affiliate, everybody. So thank you, everybody, that helped us and supported us and tolerated this phase for so long. We made it to affiliate. What does this mean for us? Essentially, for people that do subscribe, what we can make from Twitch, probably not much, will essentially go to the GR funds, which will help us do more charity event, pay for like artwork, overlays, and all of that stuff, because artists need to pay. The starving artist should not be a thing. And if we don't have any overlay to pay for, if we can make decent money, which I doubt, because it's Twitch, it will essentially go towards either donation on behalf of the Juror crew, or essentially when we do fundraising campaign as donation incentive. So yeah, you can now subscribe to us. Subscriber badge are technically done. I just did not have the chance to upload them yet, so they should be available following this stream at some point. Next up, as an announcement, again, for those that follow us on social media, you may have seen it. We are actually Dice affiliate, which is Dice affiliate with Die Hard Dice. I've been a big fan of Die Hard Dice for many years. I do have a couple sets here at home. I do terrorize my home game player with some of my Die Hard Dice, which allow me to roll so many in that 20. Even though people try to curse them, they're still amazing. So yeah, so what does this mean? Not this month, but the following months, we're essentially gonna have a promo code that we can give away to our viewers for that month, where they can get possibly some discounts on Die Hard Dice. Obviously, more information will be provided once a few things take effect. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I think that's essentially make it all for my announcement. Keep in touch by following us on Twitter. That's where we do make most pre-stream announcement. If you do exclamation social or socials with an S, I'm not sure. I should know my commands. In chat, it will bring you to our Twitter page, or there's also in the About Us section, there should be a link there as well, where we have like our Ko-fi and all linked to our merch store, because yes, we do have merch. It's not fancy, it's just our logo and stuff, but again, like anything that we make, it goes toward doing charity things. I think that's all the announcement on my end. I'm just gonna pass it over to my wonderful cast, who were apparently not scared or too disappointed from last week's game and decided to come back. So, we're gonna go in the same order that show on the overlay. So I'm completely on the left. So right me is the amazing the French Tuck.
Hello, I am the French Tuck. You can call me French, you can call me Tuck. I am playing the lovely Alexandra Collins. I stream here on Twitch. You can find me on Wednesdays and Thursdays over on twitch.tv/the_French_Tuck. And normally I stream on Fridays. I will probably be I'm taking tomorrow off, but I may be streaming also on Saturday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And keep your eyes on my Twitter because there are some cool announcements coming up in the next week. So that's me.
And again, we have Bastion's here.
Hi, name's Bastion. Unlike French, I have pretty much no other presence online except for this game. I'm in a few chat rooms, but I'm Bastion there, and in game I am playing Basil Worthington. Okay.
Awesome. Next, Pure One, it's you.
I'm Pure One. I Pure One anywhere on the internet with the exact same spelling because I've been using that username since I was in 7th grade and I have refused to change it. I don't really do much of anything that's really interesting, but you know, if you find me and happen to hunt me down, I'll say hey. And I'm playing Zephrine Cartwright.
Perfect. And last but not least, our Robot Man.
I am Destructor on Discord, and I am playing James Ronstead II.
Perfect. So that's my one of guys. Oh, also, you know, I should have mentioned that because it is right in front of me. But you may have noticed like those like awesome little piece of artwork next to my cat's face. Yeah, this actually done by the amazing Sketchy Goblin. Did I turn on the command for that, or did I absolutely forget? But if I did not, because it's me, I'm a big brain sometime, especially pre-stream on after a long week at work. I may have forgot, but yeah, you may follow them on good old Bird app Twitter at sketchy_goblin. Let me just drop their thing in here. There you go. Yeah, so go give them a follow. They're an awesome creator, friend of mine. They also play over at SRD&D or Short Rest D&D, which they're also like co-founder of this channel. So we absolutely love them here. You may remember Derek from SRD&D from the previous campaign that was here for Avatar. He played as Keldon, the air nomad. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that is all for the announcement properly, unless I'm forgetting something. Except maybe this little intro video. So see you right after.
We interrupt this program in order to bring you news about the ongoing situation in our eastern colonies and news on the conscription bill recently introduced into the House of Commons. regular scheduled programming.
And we are back. So a big thank you with that intro video to, again, Sketchy Goblin for the artwork, and to my friend Derek from SRD&D, just for being able, cool person, and providing me with a little introduction there, because he's a much better voice actor than I am. I have no issue with admitting it. So yeah. Well, alright. So, let's get started, shall we? So last we left off our group of intrepid investigator. They just exited the Doyle cousin's house, following the clues to the behest of Mrs. Patricia Doyle in regards to the disappearance of their children, Michael and Henrietta. The circumstances appear to be a bit mysterious, leading to various paths, if we may say so. It is yet unclear of the reason or how, if it's just they left or if something else happened to them. But that's what our little crew here is trying to do. And as they were about to exit the house of the cousin Doyle, who are a bit different from their patron who hired them, they got approached by a shadowy figure in the night. A strange little lady. As she approached all of you, you see this figure about Zephyrin's height, a gnomish size, but a bit shorter, probably due to the fact that she's mostly appear, at least to be unsure, shadowy, a little, her clothes a bit in disarray, and as she steps out of the shadow through the light of all the street lamps, you're able to see her a bit of a, what I would say, without sounding insensitive, a bit more of a bohemian look, if I may say. She appears to be in her appearance, your typical fortune teller that you will see, just a bit more in rags. She's hunched over, and she stumble, and you can see that she probably has a little bit of a hump. And she approaches you. You can see her approaching you, wrapped in rags, teeth missing from her mouth, confronting a bullet-covered face. She stands in the way, not really giving a clear indication of what her intentions are, but she approaches you, and to you as a friend, she grabs you by the shoulder, and she mumbles. The first few syllables are quite difficult to understand. Her hoarse voice becomes somewhat slowly decipherable. The city burns, yet now as he searches for answer, you awaken the dragon in the east. I hear the children cries. I hear them. An evil roused beneath the street. A god in machine. And she grabs you and she looks at all you. You see them, right? You can see them. The dead are marching towards us. And as it's like she almost used all of her energy to expel the last few words, she falls right in front of your eyes. Here in the middle of the street. Still alive. What do you wish to do?
Is she alive?
It's a tad unusual.
Is she having like a seizure? Is she okay?
The minute anyone else comments on I go, oh good, you guys all can fall.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
I think is there
Um,
one of a
I
there's no
don't know,
medicine
I'll,
check, right?
Can I make
A checker for breathing. At least that's
Okay.
There's no medicine check. Can I make like a perception check to see if there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with her?
Yeah, just give me like
that's
a
what I was
general...
just saying. I was gonna do the whole just check and see if she's actually breathing.
Perception.
Yeah, you can do a quick perception check.
Over.
Perceptions?
Oh, that's a good number of
I mean, what's your basic perception stat?
8.
7.
Yeah. You know,
I got
you don't even need
2
to roll for
successes.
that.
on those.
You know, you both have like pretty decent basic perception stats. Yeah, she is alive. Breathing still. But, you know, unconscious essentially. She, you know, just passed out. Which, you know, did attract some attention from the few people that were
Does
nearby.
she smell like alcohol?
She doesn't smell like alcohol. She smelled more herbally.
Looking around for like a constable or something. Someone that hand us
Constable
off.
seems unnecessary.
Would I happen
Well-
to know where the nearest hospital is?
You would I mean, there's, you know, the St. James Hospital, which is the biggest hospital known here. It's a bit further away in town.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is possible to bring her there. There is, you know, indeed, you know, constable nearby, but you also see Robert and Miriam just like they were essentially just looking at you through the window as you were exiting, making sure that, you know, you weren't not up to any weird, funny business here. But as, you know, they see this gnomish hag, for lack of better words, they do you do see Robert step out and approach you. Well,
Did you have someone? Did you send for a doctor or something?
sorry, you did cut a bit for me.
I was talking. Intending to speak to Robert. It's like, do you have means to send for help, a doctor, or some medical?
Yes,
Just approached us and passed out.
yes, we do. I'm surprised to find her here. She usually
You know this and you know them.
well, no, damn, it's. I've seen, you know, that odd lady a few times here and there around my favorite pub. She hangs around. She usually like mumbles like conspiracy of prediction about some kind of upcoming apocalypse or something. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I absolutely think that she's, you know, a fraud. Pretend to be a spiritualist, but
Still, I mean, living in the middle of the street can be good for her.
no, I mean that's definitely not good for her, and also not. It's. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of this. Kind of my staff helped me bring. Actually, well, if you wouldn't mind helping her bring her in.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, she's, you know, a small little lady, you know, super frail, so no issue to bring her in. You know, essentially, you know, put her in more or less a living room type of space where she can, you know, rest. Honestly, I'm not sure what she's doing here. She's been coming more and more frequently toward this pub.
She was looking for you.
Either that, or they seem to think I have some kind of odd connection with other people. I honestly have no clue.
Did she seem to have... sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You said she seemed to think you had a connection with other people. Did she specify who she thought you had a connection to? Or was it just more of a vague, your companions, your associates kind of labeling of who she thought you knew.
I mean, it's honestly quite difficult to say. I do have some rather unusual acquaintances when I go out. Uh, she did appear, to be quite fond of my sister Miriam. Something that she has a bit of a gift to. But I'm not sure what would be the cause of this. Honestly, from what I hear, she's been going around town disrupting things. But for the most part, she is.
Your sister has been, or this lady?
Well, I mean, my sister has a hard history. But I'm honestly not sure
Out
about
of character, do we know of this history, or those people? He's saying his sister has a history of causing disruption.
Give me just a general knowledge.
General knowledge is terrible.
Actually,
Anyone who wants to know?
as a friend,
Anyone who wants to know?
you can give me one too, because you're more or less in that circle. So you may have, unlike the other Doyle, this family is a bit more public.
2 successes.
2 successes.
1 success.
1.
So, as a general thing, for people that may have heard, the Doyle, they also, know the extended family of them, including Robert and Miriam. They're unlike it. They're, can I put it? More open, more. Robert, sometimes has more, right now, he can keep like a good appearance in upper circle, but once in a while he does enjoy a bit more of a bohemian style, and you can see, even though he presents himself very well, just in his general appearance, longer hair, which is a bit more quote unquote rebellious for a menace status, and he's a frequent drinker at a pub and all that. And Miriam, she, although a quiet one, is often seen as a bit of a oddball, for lack of better words, a bit more connected to a spiritual world and interested into more. What's the word? The word I'm thinking of is arcane, but that's not exactly the right word in this case. Mystic, yeah. She's a bit more inclined for this. They don't go to many social events for many reasons. Just one, they just don't care for those. But also, most people don't tend to invite them unless they want a bit of in with Doyle's.
So this is a second sibling that we haven't met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like the oddballs in the Doyle family, extended family.
Do you know her name, this woman?
Honestly, I never bothered to ask. I mean, for us, she's just this, strange hag just hanging around. Sometimes drunk, sometimes possibly under the influence of other herbal things. Although for once, she doesn't seem to be smelling of absinthe, so that's a good thing.
I have the asset feature deep pockets.
Yep.
Is it possible that I might have a small thing of smelling salts in one of my various pouches and bags and stuff? Deep pockets, just by the descriptions, that I generally have a high likelihood of any sort of general items. If not, that's fine. I just see if we could wake her up.
Nothing that could possibly wake her up. I mean, if you check around what she has on her, do you see bones that she probably use for fortune tellings and?
No, I'm not searching her. I meant in my pockets.
In your pockets.
I have it's a feature 124 in the rule manual. You have you always seem to have odd bits and bobs inside your pockets. When you need something, Game Master may grant it to you. Alternately, if it's something too esoteric, the Game Master can roll. It gives a probability of me having pretty much any random thing.
You probably have something that may be able to temporarily wake up, like something that has a strong smell that would usually wake up somebody that passed out drunk in a ditch or something. Unsure if that would work on her, but it's worth a try.
Well, while we're talking, I'm going to be rifling through the bag I always have with me and pull out some sort of smelling salts. This might wake her up. We could send her on her way, or find out what she was doing. Yeah.
I mean,
possibly.
It's worth a try. I mean, we can always contact some people that can bring her to a place of care if needed. Honestly, don't know where she's, and if she can make it on her own, well, so that'd be even better. But yeah, it's worth a try.
So I take the smelling salts on cloth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Trying to administer it appropriately.
Yeah. And slowly she wakes up, mumbling a bit under her breath. It's very, very hard, to decipher any words. She appeared to be conscious, not fully there. But at least she's there. She's awake.
Hello, my dear. You seem to have had a bit of a spell. Are you well?
And she looked at you like her eyes are like one. She only has one good eye. The other one is completely glazed over. They're coming. It's all coming.
As to my question, are you well enough to what were you doing here?
I came to warn those with gift, so that they may believe. And she, turned her one good eye toward Zephyrin.
Or two?
I'm gonna turn towards Zephyrin. Mind sharing with the class what she may be meaning?
Well, it's not the most... My mother never truly believed me, but I am often harassed by spirits to assist them in whatever endeavors they feel necessary to help them move on. So that's probably what she's referring to, is how ghosts just don't leave me alone until I, either find someone else who can help them more than I can, or help them myself if it's something within my abilities. It's not a very strong connection, but it's enough for them to harass me.
And have you met this woman before?
This would be the first time I've met her.
Yeah, it would absolutely be the first time. She's not one that would hang out in your circle. The fact that she's in this part of town is just a very, very, very odd thing.
Does anything she said make any sense to you there, Osprey?
Not yet. I feel like it's a lot of clues that I'm going to have to sift through as they reveal themselves to me.
She did mention that the Dragon of the East, and there's the issue with the Russian Empire. One could interpret that as a dragon of sorts, so but I don't know what ghosts would have to do with any of that. Do you have any Russian connections?
I do not. Although honestly, my first thought was the dragon ornamentation over at the other Doyle's household.
Also, another possibility. She might have been coming to the wrong Doyles. Madam, what do you think you are right now?
And she looks at you. She looks around. She remains silent. She's like clueless of where she is.
Do you have an address that you were heading towards, or were you just following some instinct of your visions?
And she tried to laugh, and you can see like all the missing teeth, the few that are remain are just completely yellowed. There's no home for me. The city's my home.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
You said you were coming to deliver a message. I assumed you had a location in mind.
I think she had a person in mind.
Either or. I'm just curious if she found the correct one.
well, I mean, if you can see Robert looking at her and looking around. Well, if she was looking for Miriam, she's in her room, but honestly, I doubt that she's in a state to see this woman currently.
Madam, we're making our way back. We're making our way towards the pub that you apparently seem to reside near. Would you like us to escort you back there?
If you wouldn't mind,
Not at all.
such as. And she, look around, see if she, has, is there something, some kind of cane that she can grab on. Oh, well. But she's.
I'll offer my arm.
Yeah, she's, getting up and holding onto you.
How far are we from the pub? Is it a significant walk, or would it be better, especially escorting an infirm individual like this, to get a cab, as it were?
I mean, if you're asking Robert, well, I mean, usually I do take one of my esteemed.
I was asking the
coach.
DM because I assume we kind of.
Yeah, you would know that. I mean, it would be quite a walk. Typically, to go from here to there, one would either get a coach or a steam-powered coach, aka a car.
Sir Robert, could you send for a carriage for us, or could we possibly borrow yours and your driver? We were going to walk, but escorting this little young lady might be more proficient to have conveyance.
Well, after such a night, I mean, if you're looking to go to bar, I can certainly arrange. Which one exactly are you looking for?
Yeah, let's listen to Tim. 10 Mills.
Ah, 10 Mills. What a lovely place. A bit of, a strange.
Is that not the
unusual
one
scene.
that you were referencing that this lady is known for?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually where one of the few that I go to. I wouldn't call myself a regular there, but some people may know my face.
But that's where you've run into our special guests.
Indeed. Once in a while, Miriam and I go there. And
Then I think that is our next stop for the evening.
certainly, I mean, if we can, bring her home, or wherever her home may be, I can certainly arrange to get one of my steam vehicle to bring you over. And he looks around the group. Yeah, I may need to use one of the coach. My usual transportation, does not fit so many passenger. Yeah, please give me a moment. I'm gonna arrange for this. I mean, I need a drink and I'm all out.
Certainly.
Alright, and Robert promptly makes his exit. And you're sitting there with the barely conscious gnomish hag in a living room, where there's a bit more nicer things. It's a bit, cozier than the little, sitting
Or
room.
two kleptos.
Two
I
kleptos.
successfully avoid stealing.
Two party kleptos.
That's right.
Did you roll a 4?
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
What's your resolve?
1.
One resolve.
Yeah, he has poor impulse control. Just give me like a general perception, just to see what knickknacks you may find around that may be lying around.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see
Yeah.
him looking around?
And what's your general perception, Tunk?
8.
Minus 7.
I mean, those that are a bit more observant would, see just looking around. You're not sure if he's fully in discomfort, but yeah.
It's 4.
4. So, okay. I mean, you do see a few, knickknacks here, a little box, probably, where, somebody, possibly keeps cigar. Like, an empty glass that you usually, use for absinthe. It is very, nice, wear.
Does it have a cigar in it?
I mean, if you open the box, which is absolutely not very discreet, unless you're trying to be discreet.
I'm trying to be discreet.
Alright. Just, give me, if you're trying to be discreet, it's gonna be hide and sneak.
Okay. So that's
Definitely gonna roll
dexterity.
perception to counter it to match the scene of my place.
I mean, those that, are paying attention to your surrounding are not too distracted. It is, actually, I wouldn't, let's not do any difficulty, you're in a room all by yourself, so those that are perceptive, can, do a quick perception.
3 successes.
These
3 successes.
dice.
Alright. So, Basil, I mean, you're able to see, James is just looking inside the box and you're like, oh, well, there's, some, nice imported cigars.
Thing interesting though, James.
Yeah, they are.
I missed the missing children. I happen to be hiding in them. Just kind of
James.
watching them, but yeah, hang yourself on it, however you want to extract it. But just just letting you know you're blatantly seeing.
I take one of the cigars and stuff it in my pocket.
Alright.
While we're all watching.
Well, not all of you see me do it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Basil.
Sorry, yeah, now I'm blatantly talking to you.
Oh.
Once
okay.
Basil calls attention to it, we're all watching.
Still, yeah, I just shove it in my pocket.
Can I make
That
an
ruins
intimidation?
the cigar.
No, not purposely ruining the cigar. I don't like.
No, that would be Zephyrin's point. It's like, if it's not properly stored, the cigar is absolutely ruined. Once you put it in your pocket, that's the comment that you get. Is like, that's it's a waste of a perfectly good cigar.
Gonna go for there, Alexandra.
What are we trying to do, Alexandra?
I was gonna try and do something, but I've decided against it. I think Alexander's just gonna give just a withering look to James.
Yeah.
Just like the most like older sister, you shouldn't be doing that look.
So yeah. All right. Well, you can mark a cigar in your like things that you have right now.
Basil will just start lighting his own pipe. It's like, well, I'm not familiar with military protocol, but I'm being welcome in non-military circles. Yeah, military mentor as well.
I've stole a cup and a cigar from this place already.
Up as well.
All right.
No, I stole the cup last session.
That was last session.
Are you saying this to us though?
Out of character.
No, out
Okay.
of character. I've stolen
Yeah, no, I
from this house already.
Being silly.
None of us saw that.
All right.
Get to the main house, steal nothing. Come to the secondary rich house, steal from something every time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
It's the Shadow Lady's fault. We wouldn't have been in here a second time without her.
Exactly. It's all the gnome, that gnomish lady's fault. All right. Eventually, Robert does make his way back. You see that he changed it just a little bit. He changed his dress wear, a bit more street common. All right. Well, are you all ready for departure?
Absolutely.
I hope
Are
you
you
don't
coming
mind
with
the
us?
smoke. I felt like a pipe. Do you smoke, sir?
Not tobacco per se.
No. So
I do.
some people like don't like the pipes and prefer cigars. I never like them myself.
Yeah. It's
Are you coming with us? Your clothing
He
seems
said
to
he-
suggest. So.
He had indicated that he needed a drink and was willing to come with us to the bar.
I mean, I do need a drink and a change of scenery after this. So
Sorry, I
Well,
misinterpreted.
perhaps he might have a better chance of spotting his nephew, niece.
Cousins.
We're the cousins. Cousins. Sorry.
your cousin, yes.
They were his cousins.
My character has a native memory, not me.
It's difficult to remember everything.
As we walk outside, I start smoking the cigar I stole.
As one would.
Right
Yeah.
in front of Robert.
Yep, right in front of Robert.
Hello, I am a lawful good player playing with a bunch of chaotic goods.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
I don't even know that I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Basil's
fine.
fine.
pretty sure
Chaotic.
I'm chaotic neutral, but yeah.
What is being good, right?
Yeah, actually, in fairness, I am chaotic on the engine. I slid towards entropy.
I haven't figured that engine thing out. I'm just based on his background and what actually he does. Basil has to be neutral.
All right. So y'all, make it out to a bit more busier location. Make it to the coach. Start the engines. That's not what I was expecting, but whatever. I'm just gonna keep that track. Screw it. And eventually, you're in the cart with Robert, was just hanging out there. So I'm sorry to hear that my cousin went missing, but I'm quite thankful to see that some people actually taking interest in their disappearance.
Well, it's most interesting that something felt you were a usable weapon for their actions.
Well,
It's not much your name that was brought up by their plumber. Slightly awkward, but
sorry you cut it out a bit for me for some reason. My connection went weird.
Oh, I said it's very interesting though that whatever your cousins are into, that they chose you as their cover story.
Well,
Slightly awkward, but I mean, their mother, everyone assumed that you were with them.
well, you see, I'm the fun sibling, or the fun duel. Uh, I did show them around the city, just make them experience the world a little bit more outside of the circle that we see here, which are not all that interesting to be honest. Most people are smiling and lying to each other and backstabbing at an opportunity. Although honestly, in certain other parts of town, it's about the same. But at least most people are a bit more upfront if they're gonna be stabbing you. So I appreciate that, and that's that's where the art lives. That's where the people live. So, are you a fan of the arts, Mister Basil? Right? You said
Basil, yes, Worthington.
Worthington, Mister Worthington.
You might be familiar with the family history. Um, not the arts particularly. No, more interested in the sciences.
See, well, that is quite valid as well, and I do appreciate some science here and there.
Well, there's some art to be found in both creation and destruction, if one looks for it.
Indeed.
So, as we're riding, just gonna, I mean, not that I'm particularly great at it, but trying to get a read on him of, like, why the sudden change in heart to want to come with us? Is he really just coming along to ensure that we don't steal his cart, wagon, steam car, whatever this is? Because he seemed, we had stated before that we were going to the bar and he had no interest then, but now that there's a mysterious lady with us.
Yeah. Give me just an empathy roll, and for those that are trying to read, Robert can do the same as well. For a bit of change in demeanor.
I also take the time and start talking to Robert about what he thinks about this possible war
One success.
coming.
For those that are rolling empathy, like it seems to be, forthcoming for the most part. It seems to be. One moment he will, have, an idea, and the other moment he will probably have, he tends to go live his life on a whim.
Two success.
Yeah. And people that know may have a general knowledge of this person also know that he's not exactly one that planned many things ahead. Now, once again, he may not
It's definitely
like
just in character hurt for him to be flighty like this.
Oh, absolutely. Now, once again, he'd be like, I don't feel like it. You know what? Yes, I'm gonna do it. I mean, we all
So
we all know
whatever's
something
going
like
on,
that.
he's almost certainly not the mastermind of whatever's going on. He's involved at all.
I'm not even sure he'd make a very good pawn, considering it's like he'd lose attention halfway through.
Yeah, he'd end up losing attention and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is my boss."
And doesn't even know that he smokes cigars.
Or just doesn't care.
Well, those could have been his father's.
They could have been.
But you ask him about the war, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a pointless war over trades and territories. It's not exactly my concern. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the spice and all the beautiful things that come from the east. But if we have to pay a little extra for it, I think some people just like having control over things.
I see. I can agree with you. I feel like this war is very pointless. That's why I retired from the military when I did.
Well, wise choice.
What are your thoughts on the new conscription bill?
Honestly, I don't think I will even go past the House of Common. It's gonna go president in front, but if anybody in there has, the interest of the people and wish to avoid, bloodshed on the street, they would know much wiser not to pass it and force, the lower class to, go through.
I mean, they already do, though.
I mean, they already do to a certain extent, mostly, due to, lack of employment, due to, development of certain factory and automation. Which, I mean, for many things, it makes our life better. I mean, look at this, coach. Look at all, your companion here.
It's life better for those who can afford it.
Indeed.
Speaking as one who benefits from such.
And this wouldn't be the first time that the House of Commons has done such a thing. It happened before. It happened in the War of 1812. It's happened many a time for when the government has decided that better to send off others to fight their wars for them.
You seem to be well versed. I'm impressed, to be honest.
I lost a brother to the last war.
Oh, my condolences. War does terrible thing, and if it could be avoided, it'd be great. And I'm sure that this conflict could be avoided, if it was not for the greed of many. But such is the heart of man.
It must have been a historically violent case. The fact that we have any periods of peace is rather amazing to me, honestly.
So,
How are the streets? Is that the earlier crowds and stuff broken up, and we're not in the same area?
yeah, for the most part, as you're navigating through that district and towards more centralized London, the crowd that were there seems to have dispersed. You may meet two straggler here and there, but no actual crowds. You do start seeing few individuals as you're approaching more center portion of the city, just more as of the upper echelon district, where it's a bit more populated. There's still some people. It is still very late at night, so it's not exactly the most busy time. But there is some people, especially around certain let's call them establishment that are open all night, including bars and house of favors. But eventually, you do make your way to your destination. Alright, well, here we are. No, let's try not to make too much of a scene. I mean, it's not that, do not wish to, entertain you further, but I do have a bit of a reputation in this establishment that I would like to keep.
No, you just offered us a ride. We're
see.
not necessarily together. So if you do sponsor your cousins, do point them out to us, please.
Don't worry, I will do so. And if you're looking for anybody in particular that I may be aware of, well, and I do see them, I gladly point you in the right direction. I mean, I know, even though I'm not too close to their parents, I do, actually like my cousins. They're good kids. A bit lost at times, but I'm sure they mean well.
More than a bit lost at the moment. Heading to the bar.
Yes. Frank.
Before we go in,
Yes.
I'll escort the woman, the gnomish woman. Is there a spot where you would wish to go?
Oh, just here.
Does she walk off?
Oh yeah, she just walk around.
Okay.
I mean, for what you can tell, she's most likely homeless. Like, the smell that come out of her is not somebody that bathed in a long time. Chances are either she's extremely lower class or has no home. And I mean,
Before
you've
she
seen
goes
you've
to-
seen people like those wild spiritualist fortune teller that are most of them are absolute fraud, just trying to angle on the side of the street. So
To be fair, it's the Victorian era. Not many people bathe.
exactly.
That was
I
my thought. I
tossed-
wasn't gonna say it because I wasn't sure.
I toss her a handful of Victorian money.
All right, what do you give her? Because I mean, there's many. A few pence.
A lot of it's coins.
A lot of it's going.
A few pence, a few shillings. I mean, if
Few
you're
pence.
if you're feeling
It-
particularly generous, there's always a pound. But
We're getting paid £1 a day, so
Yeah.
a pound is a lot.
a pound is a lot.
Yeah, don't pay your whole day's earnings.
I'll give her a couple pence.
All right. All right. You take it. Well, there's good fortune in your future. And she just look at you with her one good eye, and she just did.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
Into
Now,
the 10
I'll go ahead
mils.
and take a look around this pub as I enter it. Try and take its measure before look and see if there's a table for at least 4.
And as you walk in, the establishment is a bit more lively than the exterior. Robert here, and they're like a celebrity here. He's been here many times before, and goes to his usual corner. But taking a quick look around, it may take a bit of time, but you do manage at some point to spot a little table that would most likely fit all of you, a committee. It's a bit on the side of the establishment, so but there's not so good music playing and people drinking and it's a lively place.
Question.
Answer.
Can I take a look around to see if I can get a vibe for the political leaning of the people here? More pro House of Commons, more anti House of Commons.
What kind of role would that be?
I was hoping for perception, but if you make
I
me
mean,
roll something
perception
else,
give you a glance of
You completely
this.
missed all the signs that say down with the establishment.
Yeah. And give me.
You missed the person handing out the Communist Manifesto as we walked in.
Give me a perception just to just get a general look.
4 successes.
Of course, this is most people here that are either appear to be the working class, or if more libertine people, more bohemian style. If you're gonna find somebody that is deeply rooted and love the House of Common here, that person is extremely quiet. You may not possibly find some Bolsheviks here, perhaps there's a few, but it's not the kind of establishment that would hold many political figure or people that are extremely affiliated. Or at least most of them would be concealing that fairly well.
All right.
Yeah. It's a place
It's a
for good time and
working-class
trouble.
bar.
That's what I'm saying. So you all take a seat.
Alright. Yep.
And eventually, this charming human woman long red hair, comes to you with a little plateau, like she was probably serving drinks around. Well, welcome here. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'll take whatever the house best, whatever the ladies would like.
I mean, it depends what you mean by house best. I mean, we do offer wine, absinthe, ale, and quite a variety of spirits. We do have fine whiskey from Ireland that
Oh,
just
I'll go
arrived.
for the whiskey.
I want the whiskey.
Alright. Just a few glass or the entire bottle.
Entire bottle.
Do you have the money to pay for that?
Let's see. How much is an entire bottle?
How much is an entire bottle of whiskey? Let me go look in my.
Should be in the guide. There is like
Yes,
a whole.
there
like,
is a section in the guide for that, and I do have a bookmark for that. In the million bookmarks that are in there.
It is on page 140. It is 4D, which was what, pence?
Yeah, it's in pence.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Just
So how
read
long
it.
have we? How long have we been working on this?
I mean
We haven't earned any money
yeah,
yet.
You possibly have some leftover, hopefully.
Yeah.
You just gave all your money to the psychic lady. You got
Yeah.
nothing.
But yeah, it's 4 pence for a bottle of whiskey.
I'll
yeah,
take it.
I'd probably have that. I'm gonna be fair here. That's
will
like
have
the
a
last
glass
of my
of-
money yet, though. For now.
Yeah. Until you manage to fence the teacup.
Yes.
I will have a glass of red.
Glass of red. Well, I mean, for
I'm not sure. Out of character, I don't know a lot of different types of wines, so like whatever is a good red to order.
I mean, if you're looking, we do have a nice little Bordeaux that was imported from France.
Ooh, I do love a good French Bordeaux.
All right, well, I mean, usually a bottle of that is over 6 shillings. I guess for a glass of that, it'd be, let's say, like 3 pence. So, oh, I think we just
Uh-oh.
lost
Oh
you.
no.
Oh no.
Your wine
Oh,
was too
no.
expensive for her.
That's right. Well, somebody
No, I
just
was-
blacked out drunk. It happens to the best of us.
It does.
I got to double check how much money I actually have on.
And
I have a fair amount of money.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I do too.
anything else
I did.
interest you? And she just point into general area of where
There we go.
Right.
you do see some
I hate when that happens.
ladies and gentlemen and everything in between of the night. In case it isn't a service that's offered here, but that's not that it is absolutely optional. So all right. Well, all right. Well, I'll be right here then. 1, 2, 3 glass. I'm assuming that Tullamore will do, right? For you.
Who are you addressing?
I mean, for the people that are drinking whiskey.
Ah.
Sure.
I mean,
I bought the bottle.
as somebody that is a whiskey drinker, Tullamore is a fine brand, so it's a well-established one. So
Well, yeah, she said it was the best that they had, so
Yeah.
sure,
I mean,
whatever
it may
is.
not be the best in Ireland, but that's the best that they have.
Yeah, no. Basil is going very much to play to the, make a good impression and not like, oh, that's what you got. No, he's going with
Yeah,
trusting
Alright.
trusting the recommendation of the housemaid.
perfect. She eventually, leaving you to be in the middle of this establishment.
Do we see the Doyle children or see places where people seem to be like very purposefully gathering or like go slipping behind a back curtain that isn't going into a room of favors?
Yeah,
Give me a
along those lines,
give me a perception. It would be a difficulty 2,
Okay.
just because it's
Basil,
a very crowded and busy location.
Basil, given his backgrounds and tendency looking at the place, he's gonna look for, of course, see if the children are blatantly sitting. Also, the structure of the place. If it seems, given I've got backgrounds in concealing and demolition and disguise and stuff, seeing if there's anything unusual about the structure of the place, hidden rooms or back rooms, disguised doors, things of that nature.
All right. So yeah, it can give me a perception difficulty 2 as well. 1 success.
Okay.
Any failure on the roll?
Well, I had 2 successes and then
1 was
I
negated.
had one negated.
Okay.
Do I have any difficulty on mine?
Yeah, it's difficulty 2 for as well.
Okay. I need bigger hands for or smaller dice.
Or more dice.
Well,
I mean, one always
you
needs
can
more
get-
dice, right?
So
That you can get from Die Hard Dice using our affiliate code coming next month.
I'm also gonna kind of look around to see if I can spot the children, but more so than that, just like people who look like they're doing something suspicious, like the standard tavern fare, whatever. Those are what they're doing. People who are here for what you would expect, versus like that guy over there's like doing something sketchy.
All right. Yeah, just like doing a quick perception. Difficulty 2 as well. So you had 1 success, Alexandra.
All right.
Basil, did you have any?
one success, one failure, so
One
I got
success.
nothing.
All right. I mean,
1 success, 0 failure.
all right. So you take a look around. I mean, just getting rid of room. It's fairly busy first floor. There's a bar at the end, in and out. There's most likely kitchen behind, or where some staff go, and there's on the side there's an obvious stairwell. You try to take a look a bit more there. It is obviously a bit more, I would not say busier over there on top, but the people that seem to be sitting there seems to be, how would I put it? It's usually a specific crowd that sit there. No. Most folk that come in don't just go there because there is obviously some. You can tell those that have decent perception. There's this very burly ogre-looking figure, who seems to be minding for the most part his own business. Just sitting at the top of the stair, looking up and down, who's coming, who's leaving. It may be an unofficial meeting location for some people. But obviously, there is also a few doors to additional location for other entertainment.
Right.
And curtains and things like that.
Yeah,
It-
no
it-
sign of the children that we're looking for yet.
I mean, there's a few, younger figure here, probably, around 16. But
Would it be a separate role
nobody's-
to look?
nobody that, is striking as, the Doyle children based on the portrait you see.
Again, with my background for disguise, can I see how many people here or here pretending to be something they're not? Other people in disguise. Do I have with my tendency for being able to disguise myself? Can I pick up on people that are not being who they are?
I mean, that would be like probably be by probably trying to mingle a bit more from your current location.
Okay.
It is a bit difficult.
I'll go ahead and do it. I'll start doing that after a bit. Once we've had a drink or two, and then I'll go start work in the room.
Yeah. And eventually, the lady come back, collect what is due, and bring you the bottle, few glass, and your requested glass of wine. Well, if you need anything else, just, tell me. You may be muted.
I am muted.
Yes.
This is a problem.
Go high under stealth.
So stealthy. I pull out the flyer that we found from the Doyle children's room. Was this part of any promotional type of thing? We found it just the other day.
Oh, it's not part of any promotional things. As you can, see, and she point to just general stack of, loose paper on near a board. Usually we do have somebody that goes in the street and distribute, to encourage people to come visit our fine establishment, if I may say. But,
Does seem to be effective.
It seems to be. You have one of those paper, and you're here. So.
Seems to have worked.
True enough.
Shame it doesn't include any discounts or anything, or anything else.
Well, that's definitely something that I may be able to possibly bring with the owner, just in case.
Well, I might draw people in.
Maybe we'll bring it.
Do you have it out there? What's your advertising? Do you have regulars, or is it a constant of various individuals?
We do have a few regulars. I did, pick up you walking in moments after, this fine gentleman over there, and she points over to Robert, who's, fairly regular here. Hasn't been here in a few days, but.
As soon as we came in.
Yeah.
Is he commonly here alone, or do people come in alone like him, or in groups?
There's usually, a few friends that, hang around. Usually there's, this strange little dwarven man that comes here and there. Seems to be an acquaintance of them. There was two younger people that used to come with him. I think they came here a night or two ago, if I recall. So, but
Yeah, both are quite welcome. I'm just curious. I have some nephews. I might think we're bringing some.
Can I? Oh, I had a thing I was gonna do. Can I slip her? Can I kind of slyly slip her like a shilling, or whatever like a high amount of currency that isn't a pound?
Okay.
I think it's a shilling.
Yeah.
Shilling is I think the next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like slyly pass her a shilling and saying, What else? You say the two children. What else do you know about that?
Well, they've been coming here with Robert, as we know him around here, and they've been also meeting with this little dwarven man. I'm not sure exactly of his name. Actually, I think he was with them last time I've seen him. So.
He's not here tonight.
Not that I've seen, but then again, I just got here an hour ago.
If you just spot him over here, quietly point him out to us. We do have a question I'd like to ask.
For a shilling, certainly. Such good patrons.
Do you also know if the children left with him last night?
The last time.
Yeah, it was a couple days ago, I think she said.
I think so. I've seen them, walk around and leave here and there with him. But usually, like previously, they were accompanied by Robert as well. So
Anything?
But you say Robert was not with them last
no,
time.
not last time. No, I'm not sure if they left with him. As you can see here, it's a bit busy. It's hard to exactly see who come and go at all time.
Very true.
Thank you so kindly for the information. As I said, if his dwarf gentleman shows up, please do.
Or the children.
Yeah,
You know, of course.
certainly. All right, and she goes back to her business. Walk around. What do you wish to do?
He said, Basil will finish up his first drink and then pardon himself from the party and kind of generally float around the room. Making it, just kind of making like a general sort of friendly social chatter. Maybe playing up a bit more drunk than he actually is to maybe be the friendly drunk and just kind of try and be amiable and like I said, get a feel for how many people here are being themselves. If there's anything
All right.
kind of outstanding going on.
If you're trying to more read the demeanor, it would be more of an empathy roll, just a general one. Since it's a bigger crowd, since you're not trying to read anybody specific, I'll make it a I'd say
Or kind of going. I was kind of open to use my. I have no reason to think that anybody is, but if anyone's trying to disguise themselves, that would pique my curiosity. So if the children are off on their own and hiding, they may be here, but trying not to look like themselves.
Yeah.
That's the idea I'm going with, and have my disguise background.
Yeah, I guess in that case, I would allow perception if needed, or streetwise.
Okay. It's a 7 or a 3, which you don't win to roll.
Whichever is best for you.
Perception. Any difficulty?
It's still like I would put it still difficulty too, just because of the sheer amount of people here.
Okay. Two successes, one failure.
All right. You don't see anybody that appear to be more or less in disguise. Some may, just be, wearing, their night out clothing, just to, try to impress somebody. But I mean, there's definitely some people that are a bit more sketchy than others, that's for sure. But nobody seems to be like wearing a wig or fake nose or something like that.
Okay. Well, after making the rounds and however long that takes, I'll rejoin the party unless bar fight breaks out or something.
Out of character, I start a bar fight. No.
I was kind of considering options on the ways to do that, but
So was I.
there's no real need for it. But he's like thinking of it as ways to, if we needed to make an exit without being noticed, while there's a fight going on.
It does make for an excellent distraction.
It does.
Oh, right, we're in a place where I might be able to pickpocket people. I should probably try to test my resolve not to steal from people.
I hate you
Oh,
all
Okay,
so
so the bar fight thing might still happen.
No, I succeeded on not on resisting the urge to just make the rounds around people and just try to lift stuff. Oh, you don't.
So you roll
Well,
two.
See,
luckily you're a professional
the difference
pickpocket.
is the fiend wants to not destruct or wants to.
Yeah.
No.
James is like but can I? And therefore I can, and therefore I should. Zephrine is like, I can, and therefore I shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zafrina's like, I don't need this money. It's just shinies.
All right.
Once
I
again,
rolled
do we see our local friendly one of our kleptos trying to steal at a bar we're trying to do an investigation in?
Might not even be at the table at this point. I don't know. It's up to the DM.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there was rounds being made by various people.
Yeah.
It's probably a much higher difficulty perception to catch that. It's really just that do people notice being pickpocketed?
Yeah.
That's also the concern.
Yeah. I mean, you've started drinking, so. How
Okay.
deep how deep are you in your drinking, James?
I'm probably glass or 2 deep.
Okay.
I wouldn't drink the whole bottle today, but I definitely drink at least
Okay.
2 glasses.
Because there are some specific rules in the setting about when you drink. Yes, because finally a game system that is actually helping the DM for when they have to their party get drunk at a tavern.
Yeah, right?
There are consequences for imbibing alcohol.
Yeah. Okay.
Who has greater restoration prepared? No?
So, all right.
No, I prepared explosive rooms this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to get to a tavern at some point in this game. We didn't start in a tavern, so we have to get to a tavern sometime.
Every tabletop RPG, you need to go to a tavern at some point. All right. So, you're about 2 glass of whiskey in there. Potency. That's 2. That's 4. That's 8 here. All right. There's something that you can roll for me. Inebriation.
I am concerned.
Please bear
Do I
with
have
me.
to roll?
I mean, for those that are new to this stream, like I said last time, it is our first time running this system. I'm still getting adjusted, so I need some time to roll a few, look at a few things. So I think here there is something called fortitude.
Yeah.
So what's your fortitude?
My fortitude is a 2.
It's 2. All right.
Yeah, it's a 2.
All right. If 4 or more or less, if 4 or more, those. So it's not. Okay. All right. All right. Give me a fortitude roll. There's. It is a difficulty 2.
So do I roll 2 dice since I have 2 fortitude?
Yep. You will roll 2 dice,
Okay.
and you will roll 2 dice against it, just to see how well you're. Because regardless,
Okay,
it will
so
affect
that's
you.
2
It's just to the extent.
I got 2 successes. So let's roll the other die.
Okay. So you may just be tipsy.
Okay,
No,
so
he-
that's a 5.
Which way are you crossing your fingers for there, French? Because you want him to be blasted off his rear and trying to steal something?
No, I want
Okay,
to not be.
I got a 5 and a 2.
All right.
As difficulty.
So you're just tipsy. So you're having a
Okay.
good time. So you will, every time you're gonna try to do one more drink, that difficulty is gonna, increase. So it's gonna be like an instant
Yeah.
black die every time. So you feel a bit more relaxed. Your pain tolerance, may be increased. So it's not too bad. But you're a bit less dexterous, obviously.
Okay.
So for like the next hour or so, you will have an extra penalty to your dexterity and resolve.
Okay.
which is already
I mean,
bad because
my resolve's a 1 anyway.
So since you have, essentially, things that will have a resolve will essentially have one black die roll against it.
Okay.
In this case,
Okay.
and same for like dexterity thing, you're gonna have an extra black die roll against it.
Okay. So, I do have the urge to pickpocket somebody.
Yeah, I mean you're feeling good. You're feeling confident. You're feeling relaxed. Like your little steely finger like a bit more nimble now for some reason. You have confidence.
And you've got 10 on one hand.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want me to roll for this?
All right. Well, since you already failed your
Believe
resolve,
pickpocketing would be hide and seek.
so I'm assuming you're going around. Yeah, it would be hide and seek as pickpocketing, and it will be a difficulty 3 instead of a 2.
Dear.
Just
Well,
because, well, you're feeling good.
It would be hilarious as if he was so drunk he picked his own pocket.
Can that be what happens if he picks like one of our pockets?
I mean, he's just
Okay.
tipsy right now, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Give him an hour or so.
that's 2 successes and a 4.
All right. Let's see.
So let's roll the 3 black die against it. A fail, and a fail. So it was a 5,
Yeah,
a
2
4.
successes.
And
Okay. All right.
Two
So yeah,
successes.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Yes, 2 successes.
All right. Let's see. If anybody that whoever you're trying to pickpocket is spotting you. All right. I mean, they don't seem to appear to spot you. I mean, you don't get much. You may get 2 shillings extra. It's
Okay.
nothing major. It's probably whatever this person had for the night. But yeah, you're 2 shilling richer now.
I actually have money now after spending the money on the bottle of whiskey.
There you go. All right. The rest of you, while you see James walking around and just gently caressing somebody's butt.
No reason you can't multitask. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you just met him. You don't know much about him. Okay.
He is an old soldier, they got their...
It is a place for everybody here. Okay. We're not here to judge. All right.
I mean, so what if it was an ogre?
Exactly. Ogre are attractive. We love them. They're burly.
Yeah. Somewhere into the,
And we broke Tuck.
Thanks, done.
You absolutely have broken me. Thank you for all these imageries and words being said this evening. And if someone is clipping these, please do so and please tweet them at me.
Man, I should have been doing that this entire time.
So I'm assuming the rest of you are so drinking and observing.
Trying to overhear anything,
Yeah.
general topics.
Where Robert
basically-
is, does it seem like he's with people of upper class, or does he look like he's dressed down to fit in with more middle class patrons?
He's fairly dressed down, and he's mostly there, flirting.
Or
with,
I guess the other way to ask is, how badly do I stick out as an upper class lady having graced this establishment?
like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I don't think any of us blend in.
There's been people looking, giving you looks since you've been here. No.
Probably the only one who blends in here.
Yeah. No, the rest of the party, it's pretty, it's
I'm
middle
upper
class,
middle, so.
they can fit in. Somebody who's really fancy, it's a bit odd. Some people will try to look fancy here, but if you have a closer look at what they're wearing, yeah, it's not.
I go up to somebody
Oh, yeah.
and pour some whiskey in their glass.
Well, they thank
Making
you
friends.
friendly for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
And
it was
then
a
you
wine
make
glass.
another on the next round. That's who you pickpocket.
Yeah. Yes.
This is the plan.
Well, what are the odds that it was a whiskey glass that he was pouring whiskey in versus like someone's wine?
I'm a roll. Can I roll a d6 to see?
Sure.
If the next person you pickpocket is that guy.
Uh, while you're like
I
going
rolled-
around. Yep.
I rolled a success. It was a whiskey glass I poured the whiskey
Yeah.
into.
Luckily enough, it may be a different blend, but seems to be a spirit of the same color. So, eventually, your nice little bartender lady among other, people that work here. So, I've been asking around as a favor to such good patrons. This little dwarven man hasn't been seen around here today, but rumor has it, he goes around here a few tavern, depending on the business of the day, as some may say. But some people, I think he's been spotted recently in Pavillon, and there's a rival tavern on the other side of district, the Bearded Wench, a bit more. How do you say? Not as pleasant establishment. It's more, warehouse type of deal where people that work on the tame, go and drink
And what was the first tavern she said?
the Pavillon. Pavillon. It's not a tavern. It is a small theater in Whitechapel.
Thank you, darling. Just one last question. And I kind of nod my head over toward the staircase where there's the ogre that sits at the top. What's up there?
Oh, well. Some people here, just like to partake a bit more while they discuss. Usually, poets or wannabe poets, and a few people that call themselves business people.
What about politics?
I'm sure it's discussed about, some politics and philosopher and, once the absent role, it's been poor. Some people just tend to be a bit more chatty and open about all sorts of things.
Thank you, darling. You've been
You're
so
welcome.
helpful.
And she winks at you. She's obviously, flirting for more.
I'll pass her. I'll pass her like a half shilling, whatever that is. It's like half a shilling.
Yeah. What's the currency for that?
It's like a farthing or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think it's farthing or something like that. It's odd, old Victorian money.
Old British money term.
I mean,
Faster.
the old imperial system for money made no sense. But
No.
people were used to it, I suppose. So, yeah, above
It was just a.
above a shilling. A farthing is actually lower than that. It's there's below
Yeah,
that is like a turpence or penny or sixpence.
Muffins?
It was just a whole ton of coins.
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's coins.
I'll pass her a sixpence
Alright.
piece.
All right, so it's like about half a shilling. So
Yeah.
all right, well, can I get you anything else?
Just keep an eye on dear Robert, please. Make sure he gets home. Make sure he doesn't get too drunk.
And you can see her. She turns around and she looks at Roberts, who's occupied, with a gentleman and lady by his side. 'Cause Robert, is
Without putting yourself at
Yeah,
risk, of course. And as they slide back into the table.
for Robert, love is love, right? Doesn't matter the gender of the person. You swing every way. And, it's fine. Some people in that era...
Intimacy Jack.
No,
So I think we've uh, made full use of our time here. I don't know what else. Did anyone else have anything? Should we perhaps check out the theater, the Spirited Wench?
I mean, should we? What time of day is it?
Oh, it's very,
It's
very
night.
late. Yeah, it's like, past supper. It's like it's near like midnight close. Like
I think
11.
we should go to bed.
Yeah,
you hear the part robot say, I think we should go to bed.
I think we may have to extend this investigation another night. I'm
No,
available.
I have no doubt we have almost no useful information. Or at least no leads, really. Other than a
I won't
dwarf
be
we don't
available.
find.
What time do we want to read up again tomorrow?
Well, the only
Tea
information
time?
we have. Which tea time? The only information
Or
we
possibly
have is
supper?
individuals that are active in the evening. Do we? Is there anything we can accomplish in the morning?
Not in
The
the
evening
morning.
is better.
If we wished for daylight to try to ascertain if there might be some sign of the children along the route they should theoretically have taken to their cousins, that might be relevant to look into, but otherwise I think supper time or later for most of the information we have.
I agree with her. I'm gonna stay here and get. I mean, I'm gonna go get a room at the inn and maybe play some poker.
I need to get home.
I'm gonna go have a drink with my poker buddies and maybe rip them off a couple shillings.
Until tomorrow evening, I might put out a few questions to certain circles, but I'll see what I can. We can. Where shall we can?
Uh,
Well, seems a little far to go all the way to the Doyles. Why not here?
No.
Pick up where we left off.
Tea times. Or dinner.
sounds good.
I
to
think
me.
we said supper time. So supper time here. I will endeavor to dress to more properly blend in with the rest of you, as I did not quite realize exactly where we would wind up when the initial thing said to go to the Doyles.
One may have expected like evening tea. It wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
All right.
Tomorrow evening.
All right. So, for sake of brevity, and not RP to your entire regular day, you all eventually make
One
it.
thing
Yeah. Yes. Go on.
Basil would do in the downtime besides tinker around at the family factory is with the my streetwise, and I have the it's the ear of the street.
Mm-hmm.
I would put out like kind of some feelers or get the basically have a rumor, check the rumor mill, kind of get people without spilling the beans of exactly what I'm looking for, and do like the Sherlock Holmes thing, get the Baker Street irregulars, kind of see what the word on the street is. So I might have some information gathered before we get together.
Pretty much, pass a few words around people that in the streets, and hopefully, some good information will come back to you.
Yeah.
All right. Give me just a general streetwise check just to see how well your information will go and how far it will go.
Streetwise. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. Okay. Um, obviously, in the middle of the night, you may not have information, but probably, once we convene, there may be some. Before.
Yeah, this is stuff he sprinkles through when he's
Yeah.
talking to people through the day and
Yeah.
on his way home.
Perfect.
Do I earn anything from my gambling?
Roll me. Roll me a d6. Just one.
Absolutely. Six.
6. You don't get much in terms of money because people that are here are not exactly extremely wealthy, but you do get maybe like a bob, which is a shilling, and 6 pence out of it.
Nice.
But you don't get much.
I'm a shilling and 6 pence richer, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all right. Anybody else wants to do something before we go through the motion of going through the night and your work day?
Just passing along through my association group, which I'm not gonna, because you know what it is.
Yeah, I know things.
Oh, great GM. Do I hear anything of, although we work in pods, do I hear anything of the Doyle children being involved?
Let me just double check again your association. I have your sheet somewhere here.
I can message it to you so
Yes,
you know.
please.
No problem.
Just trying. I'm pretty sure it's something, but I don't fully remember, and I don't want to mess it up. Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely not necessarily related to those per se, but rumor has that they may have been seen with people that may be associated vaguely. Exactly which group of people you're not exactly sure yet, but people may search a bit more for it.
Okay.
Yeah, Basil as well. You put the word in the street. People that you know and trust will put the word out for you and check. But word spread around. Sometimes it takes a bit more time just for the right people and the right connection to receive said word and bring you back the information.
What really needs to invent texting to make this faster.
Yeah, no, right? Some mad scientists, need some telefax or something.
Just sending
Exactly.
carrier pigeons into the air.
So, I'm trying to remember from last session. Was there like a park or somewhere where the children were known to go on their adventures?
There was no specific park they were known to go. Based on what you've gathered, they seem to just go around town, mostly, wherever their cousin brought them. Maybe, friends they met along the way brought them further down. But they seem to be going around. Last time you heard that they went to a quote-unquote church/temple which let me just go look back at my note just to make sure I get the name right.
St. Giles.
St. Giles, yeah, it is in St. Giles, yeah, so there's a church, quote unquote, in that area. That deaf
Yeah.
don't went there, but
That's one place we didn't
Yeah,
go
no,
yet.
I was thinking if there was a, like, location they routinely visited on their adventures away from home, that I might go there, because the night is still young,
yeah.
to try to see if I might pick up any friendly local spirits that that might have seen anything that wanted to talk to me or not. But if I don't have a specific destination, then I'm thinking my
You
night
just
is
wanted to
just
rob
going to
the
be
church,
wasted.
didn't you?
I wasn't thinking the church, but yes, actually, there's a church to go rob. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go earn myself some money. No, I'm not gonna rob a church.
And we killed the
I
robot.
robbed the rich.
I mean, those are the same thing, though.
Yeah, some churches, in some cases, it is the same thing. Yes.
Okay, I'm robbing my peers.
Okay.
They don't deserve all their fancy stuff.
At the moment,
I don't keep it, I fence it.
at the moment, Casper, your friendly neighborhood ghost, hasn't made an appearance that may be guiding you towards anything.
Okay.
But depending on the location that because you do know that some spirit may be attached to certain locations a bit more. Some will wander around, but some are a bit more tethered. Currently, the only spirits in this general area is the spirit in people's glass.
Yeah, that's what I call it, yeah. Spirit of absinthe.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then yeah, I don't do anything productive with my time off.
Hey, sometime having a time off is a good thing. Just not do anything productive. We need that once in a while.
Some of us have to work for a living.
Yeah. And those that do have, day job per se, because most people in the Victoriana setting do have day jobs. Otherwise, they don't get money if they don't do anything. You go through the motions. You get, a decent night rest. I mean, obviously, getting probably to bed a bit later than your usual hours. For those that wake up early in the crack of dawn. But you go through the motions. You go through the motions of your day.
I'm up at the crack of noon.
Yeah.
Noon seems early. I'm up at the crack of 4. I'm a night creature.
Yeah. And eventually,
I sleep in as late as my mom will let me get away with, is what that is.
I'm expected to put in some presence at the factory. It's just.
Look, I spend my nights earning my money by robbing people, so like.
some people have obligations.
I live on my own.
Some of us have work to do in the day.
All right, but eventually,
And some of us don't do well in the morning.
But eventually,
I do my work at night.
you do reconvene in front of the 10 Bells pub. Just as lively as it was the night before. It seems that the party may almost never end, except maybe in the very 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 late hours of the night where people are just too drunk and most of them are passed out. But yeah.
Question, is the old woman around?
Give me just a perception check.
I'm also keeping an eye out for her since she had accosted me.
4,
3.
3, okay.
3 as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you do look around. I mean, she's a bit difficult to spot. She's in a big back alley in a makeshift tent sort with a makeshift table, reading old bones.
She doesn't have any spirits currently harassing her, does she?
I mean, for those who do not have the gift, she seems to be like mumbling to herself. For those who have, gift of sight, yeah, she seems to be mumbling to somebody.
Oh, okay. So she's another real one. Got it.
Yeah, she's not fully a fraud. She's at the moment she has a moment.
Look, you can't get all of your insight direct from the ghosts. Sometimes you have to make it up. People don't always like all the information you get from the ghosts.
That's fair.
Ghosts are quite.
Well, next pub then.
Alright. To the next establishment that is on your list, which I do.
Yeah, are we headed to that, or do we want to stop at that church that the kids were seem to be causing problems at? 'Cause I forgot about that, which we must end with this.
Based on
Maybe
your
we can check up for the dwarf.
location, the church would almost be on the way. It would not be a straight line. You may have to diverge a little bit from the path, but it is a bit closer to Tame. Actually, you probably know roughly where it may be because it's more where there's factories and all that. Surprisingly, because many factories are near the Tame, just for dumping shit in there.
Let's just
Hey.
hope I can roll really good on my result.
What is the plan?
What do we want to do? We head just to the bar and look for the dwarf, or check out the church?
Church.
Churches
then.
do a
Saying
good
that
shit
just
to steal.
because. Are
Alright.
you saying that just because out of character you guys want to rob it, or saying
No, like
I
I actually think the church is just a place that we should go check out since it is on the way.
Yeah, I was also saying it's on the way, but
okay?
Plus, I'm not gonna rob it if my resolve doesn't screw me over.
unfortunately, you have crud resolve, so it probably will screw you over.
Fair point.
Alright.
Alexandra, any objections or thoughts?
No objections. Tuck was just
Objects?
thinking that these two. I don't know where you are on the screen. You're above me on this one. That these two are like.
You're here
not
to
both.
be. Thanks.
Let me see if I
on that
can.
screen there.
Oh well. Then, wherever they are on my screen, the two
They're
kleptomaniacs.
below
are-
us.
Yeah.
The two kleptomaniacs below us are. We're like both. Why not both? Plot and stealing.
Yeah, Alright.
Oh,
Hey,
dear.
stealing can be part of plot. It can get
Yeah.
woven in.
As is the inevitable jailbreak that would be necessary to bring you back into the campaign.
Jail.
Oh, I can break myself out of jail. It's fine. I'm rich.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm the army's specialized sniper. I'm sure they wouldn't keep me there long.
You're retired.
Alright.
You're no
I
longer
may be
useful to them.
retired, but I'm good at making deals.
Also, you wanted to blow up a building for the fake campaign? I'm sure I could count on you to bust
That was
me
a
out.
different reality. That hasn't happened. That's
This
not,
reality
that's
never
not on
happened.
camera.
Alright. So, if I hear things correctly, you're
Going
Oh,
to church.
St. Giles.
going to church and confessing your sins. Good. As you should.
Will confess their
Or
sins.
swiping the candlesticks.
Yeah, that,
You know,
that's a
whatever the case may be.
So, eventually, it takes some time. You see the scene, you enjoy, the good old Victorian scenery, which, sky is gray as always. Sunshine is somewhere beyond the clouds.
Isn't it night?
Oh yeah, it's
supper
evening. It's
time.
It's
supper time.
evening.
It's evening, you know. So
That's like 5.
yeah, yeah.
Sky is still gray.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just slightly more light. The street lights are slowly turning on, but yeah, you eventually make your way in general near St. Giles, uh, where you do see like one of the what is serve as a church in this area. Uh, which is essentially an old factory that has been an old like small factory that has been recycled as such. Uh, the only thing that will distinguish this said church from the other building around it is that there's a big ass a white chalk cross on the front door, and a sign that says the True Pat Church. And there's in front of it a sign of it in front of it and that reads service and prayers starting at 6 o'clock every day. The true Pat is waiting.
Shall we enter? At what time is it now? Is there services going on, or?
It would probably be starting like in a little bit.
Okay, so we got some time. We're
Yeah,
not
you
necessarily.
do see some people walking in. Nobody that is upper class or extremely fancy. It's it is not exactly.
But we're not like we won't be busting in and like stop the wedding. Nothing. No, we're not interrupting anything dramatic. We're just.
No, some of you that
Right.
may be of faith, people of faith, or are going to church because family said so. It's not probably in the typical establishment that you go to, but it is in its own right a church in one of the many faiths.
So I managed
That's
one
it?
success to not steal from the church,
Well, good job.
but it was close because it was hiding in the shadows. So I thought I failed it.
All right. I mean, as soon as you walk in, there's pretty much nothing.
I don't love
in
that
here.
laugh.
Yeah. There may be a few pauper sitting around on. There's a specific word for those like church bench.
Pews?
Pew,
Pew.
pew, pew,
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
pew, pew lasers.
Yeah. They're they're like older second or third hand pew, but there's a few people sitting around waiting for the service to start. You make it. You win there. Nobody really pay attention to you. Mostly focus on their thoughts and all the prayer and all that things. And eventually, out of back, you do see this tall human man, long black hair, about shoulder length, slick back, very refined feature on his face, come backward, from a bit far. It's a bit hard to see, but he seems to have like very dark eyes, and you can start hearing his deep and booming voice, and just effortlessly, just reciting it, his beginning of sermon, to to his disciple, speaking of true faith, that their protection that this should provide from the pale and everything that lies beyond. It is not exactly your conventional. It's they seem to based on the sermon as being said. Yeah, it seems to have be more inclined to spiritualism and more pagan faith mixing his things. It is a bit unusual.
We off chance see the children that the dwarf has described to us, or anything
Not at the
that would
moment.
catch our eye?
Not at the moment. That depends where you want to sit in here. Like, are you like looking more to be like more in the back, more in the front, more somewhere in the middle?
Basil was wandering for uh, just for a good vantage point.
Okay.
He's not concerned with sitting or too much concerned with the etiquette at the moment.
Okay.
He's here to observe.
I mean, as you wander around, there's some people that that seems to just keep an eye on you, just seem that you're like new people in this place. You do see children, some that vaguely look like the Doyle, but upon closer inspection, they don't seem to. It doesn't seem to be them. But yeah, eventually, however long church sermon go, I'm not myself a church goer, so I don't know. I'm assuming very long.
Depending on how long-winded the minister or
really
pastor or
depends.
whatever, anywhere between a half hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I've had one go 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
Let's say 45
I've
minutes
had
later.
like special ones go 2 hours, but not as a standard service.
Yeah. I'm not one that knows too much about that. So, but eventually,
But we see.
Yeah.
So we didn't. No need to worry. There's no one really that. Nothing stuck out.
If you want to, do if you want to check what may stick out, those that may want to check, you can give me a perception check. Depending on where you're sitting in the church, the difficulty may or what you may see may depend.
If Basil will have gone to wherever he presumed would be the best advantage to see as much as possible at once.
Same.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to see, what's going up, a bit more in the front, there's there. Or if you want to see what's going on happening with people, you'd be more in the back. So.
I'd be in the back.
Yeah.
3 successes.
4 successes.
All right.
2
Peter.
what do
successes.
you want us to roll?
Yeah. If you want to, perceive anything in here.
Perception. If you.
4 successes.
4 successes. All right. I mean, for the most part, the people that are sitting here seem to be just casual, odd church goer, like that believe whatever the reverend is saying. There's a few individual here that stick out a bit more. There seem to be listening, but more paying attention to the crowd, and you do see behind the curtain, you seem to have noticed a glimpse of somebody like going up and down, as if there was like a trapdoor or something behind the curtain that is partially hidden. And when you look, that's those are a few things that you, as a group, just looking and probably exchanging a few details that you are able to pick up.
As a player, really want to trap door. I'll get there. It is getting to be 9 something. Are we running along tonight?
Yeah. And we're pretty much gonna close a bit here.
Okay.
So, as you know, the service
Okay.
ends, and there's a few people that look at you, and the reverend approach you, and as he's about to speak, well, welcome, stranger. Hopefully, you're here to find a path, and I think that's where we're gonna pick up next time to see what's happening with Reverend, and what indication towards the true path you're seeking, maybe in this church.
We are seeking.
Yeah, you are
Something.
seeking.
Yes.
You are seeking something in this church. I mean, there was rumor that they came here, so there may be some information, some link and connections. essentially what you're doing right now is retracing some steps of where
Yep.
they went in the past few weeks. So that's good detective work. So
And we've still got a bit of time before like the chickens that Basil and Alexandra did are
Yeah.
get us back information.
yeah, you probably like told them like,
Okay.
no, we're gonna be in those area. You know, if you hear something,
Yeah,
we'll find
so-
somebody that meets us there.
We'll check in later or something with them.
But yeah,
Alright.
so thank you to all my wonderful cast members for again tolerating my shenanigans and bearing with me, and thank you very much for everybody that came here to watch our episode 2 of Victoriana. We are gonna be back next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, on this channel. So we hope to see you then. Hopefully we're gonna have some extra news because I think next time we're gonna be in April. Yeah, it's gonna be April 1st.
Yep, next week's. Yep.
April Fools, boys.
I mean-
Fool's Day.
I mean, I may pull a weird prank on them. I'm not that
Oh
cruel.
no.
Oh no, please
Turns
don't.
out we were the ones that were missing the entire time.
That's right. Plot twist. But thank you again, everybody.
Suddenly, I'm an ogre.
for joining. For joining us
Suddenly I
today.
get a date. Oh.
But if you don't mind bearing with us as we go raid our good friends Dimples and Dice, they're currently doing the campaign finale for the Umblewood campaign. They're all amazing people. This campaign is, GM by the amazing Red Justice, just a very good person with cast member Dimples and Dice, Autobuff, and Blue Bars Castle, all excellent people. We love them very much over here. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week.
Bye.